Hello and welcome to Inside Ascension, where you, the viewer, and all the residents of Ascension Parish get an inside look at the agencies, the activities, and the employees of Ascension Parish government. I'm Marshall Courtney, producer for Ascension 21. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm John Connolly, manager of video programming. Ascension Parish is a great place to live and work. Stay with us for the next half hour or so, and you'll see the following stories. Once a landmark in the center of Gonzales, the East Ascension Hospital is no more, demolished to make room for a new parish governmental complex, and the new RPCC campus rises in Edenbourne. We'll visit both sites in Ascension's new horizon. There's been talk in Ascension Parish for many years about what to do with and how to process sewage and wastewater. What's different now is a plan is in place and sewer improvements are being made. We'll meet two of the men who are leading the charge. Making for better employees through improved managerial skills. That's the goal of our Human Resources Department at a seminar where supervise is an action verb. For a fish story you can believe, and we have the pictures to prove it, we'll go to what's become one of Ascension's most popular fishing holes. And we'll wrap up the show as we always do, from a young man who we met back on our Avenue evening stroll along Railroad Avenue in Donaldsonville.
So stay with us, won't you? All those stories are coming to you right now inside Ascension.
The choice is simple. Ignore our sewer problems and the quality of life and public health in Ascension Parish will suffer. Not to mention the potential penalties from state and federal regulators. But instead, face the problem. Let's solve it with an organized plan resulting in a sewer and wastewater system the entire parish can embrace. Citizens have long supported the flood protection plan and parish mental health programs. Will sewer improvements be next in the line of Ascension Parish success stories?
When I was a kid, we'd get a big rainstorm, ditch fill up with water. We'd be playing in the ditch, playing in the rain, that kind of stuff. Are you going to be able to allow or let your kids do that in the future? How do you picture this parish? And is it a vision of prosperity, cleanliness? Sooner or later, this problem has to be tackled. It's expensive today. It's not going to get cheaper tomorrow. And that's another thing about our parish. When we see a problem, we tackle it. And coming up with some kind of a plan that everybody can support. We want to do the right thing. We want to do things that make sense, and it's going to make our community better. It's kind of a dual thing. It's not only that the systems aren't necessarily functioning to their capacity or to their level of design and their age, and they're just not working anymore, but it's also the fact that as we grow as a community and as a parish, we're putting more and more demands on our system. And so therefore, because we don't have the carrying capabilities in those streams to carry this waste off downstream, then it becomes more and more contaminated. And so therefore, when DEQ and those guys look at what our levels are in the parish, they're wanting to keep those levels down because of that fact. We're loading the system up more than what it realistically can handle. What I want is hopefully folks to look at this from an open and honest perspective, and because what I believe that you do with a situation, what I've learned through my life in problem solving is first, can I identify the problem? And I think we have. I think it doesn't take much for folks to go outside and look in the ditch and come to a realization, whether it's the ditch in their front or backyard, or whether it's a ditch down the street, whether it's local bayou or creek, or Bayou Manchac, New River, and name all the waterways within the parish, to have either some kind of an odor, some kind of growth, some kind of sludge in the bottom of that ditch, that we couldn't sit there and say that if our waste streams didn't go into that, we wouldn't have that there. And so that kind of identifies the problem. So then you get to the bigger dynamic of how do you resolve that problem. And even the bigger problem with that is, how do you fund it? And that's where we have to have this dialogue, and that's where we have to have a conversation about, are we to the point as a community to where we're willing to wrap our hands around this thing and say, yeah, it's time for us to do something with it.
you know, to whom much is given, much is required. Ascension has been very fortunate and blessed to have an incredible amount of growth. There's future growth that we're talking about. Well, in that growth, there's a requirement that we should have to do the right thing with the way, how we approach waste treatment and water issues, you know, development issues, and any other aspect of that growth brings on. And DEQ, as some discussions and what's happened in our recent meetings, have been working well with us of giving us an opportunity to acquire a $66 million loan that will build the first phase of a regional treatment plant in the dense area of Ascension Parish, where initially we didn't have that.
Today is really a great day for one primary reason. It's been 3 years in the making, and it's because of a great collaborative effort. Your president always reminds me that today would not have been possible without that collaboration, and that was really manifested when that resolution was passed as part of the pre-application submission, where every single member was in full support of this. And the biggest piece is, in the times when you look at raising fees and taxes, always such a burden on the residents of our state, this parish found the fortitude, found the budget from within, in order to make and request this loan on behalf of water sewer infrastructure. And for us, that was a very big deal, and I know the residents of this parish appreciate that.
This is a great first step, as Alex said. As the carpenters say, we've only just begun, because this is the beginning of a long process to get the wastewater treatment collection system in line. It will both help the economic development of the parish and the environmental protection. So we do appreciate all the work, and I know it's been hard and long, and there's a lot more work to be done.
Path forward. Today is a cautionary note. The purpose of today is really saying that we have provided preliminary approval to that $60 million request for wastewater upgrades, and it's in the collection system lines. What that means, and the reason it's a preliminary approval, because now we really get to the real work, where your engineers, your financial folks get to work with my engineers on the environmental side, on the engineering side, and on the financial side. It's a process that typically takes anywhere up to 12 months to get to the next milestone, which really is the big deal, and that will be the loan closing phase. And President Martinez has assured me, and I sense that passion and aggression that he's demonstrating. 12 months is the rule of thumb. President Martinez assures me that he will push everybody on his side of the equation to make sure that everything is in place, that we can close on the loan in less than 12 months. And that's the time when the secretary now will be back, and the secretary gets to present what we call our big symbolic check. But really behind that closing is the fact that we would actually have signed on the dotted line that Ascension Parish in 12 months or less will have access to those $60 million to start, as the proverbial term goes, turning dirt, starting the actual construction phase.
My goal is to engage people in conversation and try to get them to the same area that I am and come to close to the same decision that I've come to. We can all agree or disagree on how to get there, but in the end, what do we want? And I think that's the big question. In the end, do we want a clean environment that we don't have to worry about our kids and our pets? We don't want to have to worry about whether or not, when it floods or we get water out of those ditches, canals, what's in them. We don't want to worry about the camps that we have, the fish, the crawfish, and different things that we may go out and do and stuff that we enjoy. Are they healthy for us? It's pride, but it's something, not just me, it's the whole group, the whole organization, the whole parish. It's something that hopefully we can all feel pride in. That instead of us going to look at other folks, we got folks coming to look at us. How did y'all do this? How did y'all accomplish this? That's what makes it worthwhile to work through. When not me going out there telling you how great I am, because it's not about that. It's about us doing something, working as a group, as a community, putting our heads together, solving this problem, and then other folks coming in, looking at what we've done and saying, you guys did it right. We want to try to do it that way.
In this report, we visit 2 sites in Ascension Parish currently undergoing drastic change. If you've driven down Eastworthy Road in Gonzales recently, you may have noticed something missing. Removal of the East Ascension Hospital precedes the construction of a new governmental complex, and the new River Parish's Community College rises in Edenbourne.
We are standing today at the former site of the East Ascension General Hospital.
Why the demo?
Well, the demo is taking place to remove what was once a 76,000 square foot hospital to make way for a 33,000 square foot office building that will be used for a consolidation of departments for the parish government system. Well, the demolition has been on schedule. We have been delayed a few different times with rain, but so far the schedule is being met. The demo contractor has utilized local individuals for some of the labor aspect, as well as local contractors to do some of the various hauling and work. But so far it's on track and scheduled to be completed within the next few weeks. The hospital has been here since 1965. There was an addition that was made in the mid-'80s. We are wanting to honor the tradition of the hospital being here as a vital part of the parish, and at the same time the pond out front is staying. We're definitely going to embrace the pond and the tradition of the EA students jumping in the pond. Of course, this will be the heart of parish government as far as the new building. The parish administration as well as several other key departments will be housed here. And so we're taking it from the life of one use of the hospital and transferring it to the hub of parish government. Like I said, it's a 33,000 square foot office building. The intention is to bring the parish administration department as well as the council secretaries, the planning and development department, which includes the building department, the permit counter, the planners and zoning officials. We have Channel 21 that will be a part of the building, as well as the finance department, HR department, which is currently on the west side in Donaldsonville, the purchasing department, the grants department, as well as the technology department for the parishes will all be housed under one roof. Well, we have the bid opening that's coming up this Thursday, the 27th of February, and the intention is to have a contractor in place within probably the next 3 weeks of time. And the construction should begin on the new complex somewhere around the end of March, first part of April, and that process will take around 300 days. So the intention is to have a new complex ready to move in within the first quarter of 2015.
Another change to Ascension's horizon involves the relocation of the River Parish's Community College.
We started basically 15 years ago from zero. Dr. Joe Ben Welch and Dr. Bill Martin were the two that led the process of developing the college from zero to over 3,000 students last year. Built up a service to the community and helping people get ready to go on to four-year schools or get skills for going into the workforce. A really wonderful development process that we've gone through. The building is a result of that process, that we are serving the communities and the parishes we serve and the needs of the people. And now we have a new facility that we can continue to expand those services and room to grow to maybe not 5,000 students, but a lot more than we have at this point. We can realistically expect to double the number of full-time students in college programs and classes at this site with what we're building right now. And the future expansion's almost unlimited for what we have here to do. The building is 81,000 square feet, give or take a few, but that 81,000 is a good number. We're going to have, we're not going to double the number of classrooms, but we have more than 150% of the number of classrooms we have. All the rooms are larger than we had. We'll be able to have more space for people and increase the safety and the comfort of students. One building rather than a number of temporary buildings scattered around our current site. It's been a wonderful place for us, and that we expanded to meet our needs as we did this over the last 15 years, but now we'll be in one place. We've got 41 acres here, and we're not most of it is undeveloped. We'll have the opportunity to add buildings. We have one on the planning stages now for Technology Center to move what we have on Airline Highway out here in the next 3 to 5 years. So there'll be some expansion, and there's plenty of room to grow RPCC as the community's needs continue to increase.
This building is changing the horizon off the south side of Interstate 10. Let's talk about how this building has, from the ground up, started to break the horizon.
Well, this area was one of the projects that was planned, the Edenborn development, a number of years ago, and with the economic downturn of the last few years, it was just put on hold. There wasn't any activity, but we were the first project to come in here. Now Emerson Electric is here. The Safety Council of Baton Rouge area is building their building. This project will develop all this land here and will be the anchor that gets things started and gives people a reason to come in here. Hardly a week goes by that somebody doesn't call me and ask me about what we're going to need for food services and other things that we might have to have in this area. There's going to be development happening here because we're in the middle of this industrial service area with all the things that are going to expand in the next few years, and the chemical plants and the processing plants here, that there should be lots of opportunities for businesses and commercial enterprises in this area, and we're glad to be here and easily accessible from the interstate to the entire region. Well, we have a monthly update with the contractor last week of every month to see whether we're up to date on things, if anything has changed. We're still on schedule. We'll be done with the building the end of June is the plan at this point. That'll give us 6 weeks before classes start on August 18th to get moved in and be ready to go, and that's a good thing because 6 weeks will help us a lot. We're happy to be here, and there's lots of opportunities for the people in the Ascension Parish and the other parishes around, and we look forward to doing all the things that might develop.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
When everyone works together, well, that's teamwork. Good supervisors should know their employees and how to get the best of their efforts. So here's a look at a recent seminar our Human Resources Department held to remind managers supervise is an action verb.
The purpose of today is to start getting you to think about what is a good supervisor, what do you do, what are your good qualities.
My name is Sherry Kinchin in Human Resources for Ascension Parish, and today we had a supervisory training where we refocused our supervisors, directors, and managers on the qualities and characteristics of an effective supervisor so that they could better manage the employees of Ascension Parish and be more productive and spend taxpayer dollars more wisely.
The parish has a safety program, and it's under the working conditions of page 46 in the policy manual. Safety, to assist in providing a safe and healthful environment for employees and the general public. The Parish of Ascension has established a workplace safety program. This program is a top priority for the parish. The Safety Department has responsibility for implementing, administering, monitoring, and evaluating the safety program. Its success depends on the alertness and personal commitment of all.
There were some things where we were very matter-of-fact, which is safety, reporting accidents, and sexual harassment, which is a huge issue in this country right now.
And what we're going to be talking about now is actual harassment, more sexual harassment, but harassment in general.
It's on the rise with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, so we are always trying to be aware that we are being fair and consistent with state and federal employment laws.
Blue is over here, yellow is in the middle, and red is in the back corner, but we'll have to take that back up again. You go back there, and from the time I say go, you will have 10 minutes to go back there and complete the activity. There's a puzzle in your envelope, and you have to complete it and then return back here for the assembly with your team. For the rest of the day, you will sit with your team. Everybody understand? Any questions about the instructions? Ready? Go.
We did one that was called Puzzled, which was a team-building effort, kind of creating that analogy that we are all pieces of a puzzle, and there was a piece of puzzle missing from each one of the team's puzzles, and it was a problem solving.
Found it? Yep.
That's it.
We done.
So what do you do? What do you do when you're missing an employee or you're missing a piece of equipment? So it was a way to get them thinking outside of that box and then bringing them back together, that we are all interlocked as departments and we're all part of the same team or the same puzzle, if you will.
Rick, what do you observe in the middle of that?
It's teamwork and just open thinking is what you got, is what I observed. Everybody working together to solve one solution, towards one goal. I mean, that's the key behind it.
You had an extra piece that didn't fit your puzzle.
It didn't, and when it didn't fit, I assumed that they swapped them between other teams. So we just went back and forth between each team until we found exactly what we needed.
Teamwork's important.
Absolutely.
Where does the policy manual address the Fair Labor Standards Act with regard to exempt and non-exempt employees?
We played policy manual Jeopardy. One of the things that we're always doing is we're always revising our policy manual, and we get a lot of calls in HR about the policy, even though every employee is issued one and they sign for it. We wanted the supervisors to be aware that we get a lot of these calls. These are things that you should be doing as a supervisor, as an action-based supervisor, because as I said in the training many times over the last couple of days, supervise is an action verb. You should be able to answer the questions, and clearly I think there was some good, healthy debate about the wording in the policy manual, so it was just another way to make them aware of what their responsibility to the employees as supervisors is, and it was a way for us to get better, and we found out some really interesting things about the policy manual that we need to go back and address either with wording or content.
The scavenger hunt includes the first floor of the gym, inside and out.
The scavenger hunt was really fun. That's how we ended the day. The teams were given a list of things to look for in the Lamar-Dixon gym, and what we were hoping for is we wanted to see who would step up and delegate each task, because the time frame of 10 minutes was going to be a time constraint if they just walked around as a group. And clearly we don't have all of our employees walking around in groups.
Let's number of shower stalls, they could get that too in there.
Yep. Now, we can't go in the women's bathroom.
So people stepped up and delegated, and the numbers were so different. The number of doors, number of windows, number of sinks, up to and including what's a sink, what's a lavatory, did you count the doors to the bathroom stalls, did you count windows here? So it was about giving clear direction, making the objectives clear to the employees, and it was really fun. It got people up and moving, and it was a way to end the day on kind of a funny note. It was fun. I enjoyed that. And it was all a learning based on, really on behavior theory. It was really a lot of behavior theory, which is really what supervising is. How to do it in a positive way, and understanding that every person on the team is important and everybody has something to offer. Whether it's someone who is making $10 an hour or someone who is making $30 an hour, everyone is important on the team. And so we really wanted to refocus on that over the last couple of days, and I think it was really successful. I think Human Resources is really proud and happy that people enjoyed it, and we hope they learned something. We'll see. Hopefully the number of disciplinary actions will go down, safety will go up, and taxpayers will be happy. Everyone in the Human Resources Department had a part to play. We did a lot of research, a lot of downloading of information.
How does somebody get a hold of Human Resources if they need to?
You can call us at 473-1508, or you can go on ascensionparish.net under Departments and scroll down Human Resources, and our contact emails are there. It's a wonderful place to work. It's a great group of people. It feels like a big, large family, but everybody knows families laugh together, we argue together, but at the end of the day, we're still family.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until there's no secret that will make you smile. Reliable sources say that Chicken soup has found their way out of this year's dangerous, but they are returned.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
When you earn your GED diploma, the barriers in your life fall. Take the first step and get free GED information in your area at 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or yourged.org. Earn your GED diploma and begin your brighter future.
Fishermen aren't usually quick to share their favorite spots with others, but in this case, the cat's been out of the bag for a while now. The Ascension Parish Recreation Department stocks this pond often and wants the word to get out to those who want to catch fish. So let's get out to Lamar Dixon for the latest in a long line of stocking efforts, and maybe you'll be lucky enough to catch a few.
We're releasing rainbow trout in the lovely state of Missouri that the Parish of Ascension recently purchased. There's approximately 600 to 700 trout that have been released this afternoon.
Looked like we had rainbow trout of all sizes.
All sizes. Had some really nice ones up to probably look like 15, 16 inches. Beautiful, beautiful fish.
Coming from Missouri, I'd imagine these are cold water fish?
Yeah, cold water. And, with the pond being this deep, the water will stay cold a good long time, and it may be 3 to 5 months that you can catch it. So a lot of time to come out and enjoy it.
How would one prepare a rainbow trout if they were fortunate enough to catch one out of the pond?
I think you just basically gut them. Leave the heads on, just gut them and brown the scales and everything. That's the way it's done universally, I believe.
We've been out here before with different species of fish being released. We had the grass carp not too long ago, now the rainbow trout. We're going to see some more releases like this in the future, or what?
We hope to see more. We've also released bass and catfish prior to this.
Now these trout, can we expect those to reproduce, or are they just going to either be caught or die off, or what?
They'll die off. They won't be able to handle the temperature.
Meaning too warm?
The water will be too warm for them to survive.
So come get them now.
They're probably going to need a day or two to settle, and get before you can really start harvesting.
What's the goal with a fish release like this?
It's just to give the people of the parish a little something unique to catch. They're relatively easy to catch. You just be patient, and I just want everybody to come out and get it. And everybody's going to be off during these holidays. It'll be a great time to do it. The kids are really going to get a kick out of it, and that's basically what it's all about.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Inside Ascension. Remember, you can always reach us with your comments and story ideas at insideascension@apgov.us. The email address is on your screen.
But before we go, how about some lagniappe? we introduced you to this West Bank troubadour during our Avenue evening stroll in Donaldsonville. Here's Sam Mattingly from Belle Rose. Thanks for sharing your time with us, and please keep watching Ascension 21.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots. I ruined your black tie fair. Last one to know, last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. I toasted you and said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And now BK, and I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the Oasis, 'cause I've got friends in low places. Well, I guess I was wrong. I just don't belong. Then I've been there before. Everything's alright. I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the door. Hey, I didn't mean to cause a big scene. Just give me an hour and then I'll be as high as that ivory tower you're living in. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And now, okay, and I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the Oasis, 'cause I've got friends in low places. Yeah, I've got friends in low places.